What's going on, guys? Another NQ Robbie trade recap video. Today, as you can see, was extremely rough. So, as you guys know, every day I come into it looking on the higher time frames and then work down. So here, I'm looking on the daily. I don't really do much with the daily, but I can see that we are trending towards these highs right here, and we have this daily internal low right here, and this daily low right here. Not much to do here, just marking it out. Then I move on to the 4 hour. I see that for the last couple hours, we have been very bullish, but in the most recent times, we are pretty bearish. So then I look on the 4 hours and I notice that we have this 4 hour internal low. Then I drop down again to the hourly time frame, which is where we actually start marking out some levels. So here you can see that we're currently inside of an hourly and we have swept this hourly internal low. We're in the process of forming an hourly right here, but we have this confirmed hourly here. All right, so now we have this. Also marked out this hourly low right here. I felt it was close enough that it could potentially be a draw on liquidity. But as you can see, we are delivering from this sell side, this internal low on the hourly. So although I was bearish, I was going to be very cautious to be taking shorts. Then I drop down one more time to the 30-minute. I marked out this bearish 30-minute fair value gap. Actually, let me make sure. Yeah. And then I dropped down one more time again. And we had this 15-minute, but it was also inside of the 30-minute, so I didn't really concern myself with it. And then one final time, I dropped down to the 5-minute. And on this time frame, all I'm really looking for is equal highs and equal lows. And, you know, more near draws on liquidity, like these lows and these highs, but didn't really end up marking them out. Didn't feel like they were significant enough. But let's get into this unfortunately losing day, but I'm not mad about it. I'm really just going for winning days right now. But coming into market open, we were very choppy. What I wanted to see was either A, we open higher into this 30-minute and then we target these lows, or we open lower, sweep out here, and then we are bullish targeting all of these unmitigated gaps. And market open, we move higher, we manipulate into this bearish 30-minute, and we were not presented with any entries. I don't have the 30-second unlocked, but I'm not sure if there was a 30-second inversion. But as you can see, we ended up dumping. I think a few people did end up taking this, but I didn't love it. And then after sweeping all of this sell side, I wanted to start looking for longs again, as we now have the 930 wick, and we also have some low resistance liquidity leading up to these hourly unmitigated gaps. But as you can see, we strongly rejected this 1 minute right here, and we chopped around for a while. And, you know, we got the inversion eventually right here, but we spent, 46 to 36. We spent 10 minutes inversing that fair value gap. So I think that this was a terrible trade. If you took this, I think it was kind of a gamble. Just because we inverse a fair value gap doesn't mean that it is a valid IFEG, especially with all this chop and building low resistance at our stops. So yeah, after we inversed this 1 minute right here, I didn't love it. We definitely had some decent displacement and a good closure through it, but I wanted to wait for one more confluence to actually confirm this IFEG and then eventually be able to take longs. Then after, we put in this 1 minute right here, which overlapped with this 1 minute, which is known as a BPR. So we put in this 1 minute BPR, and I wanted to look for longs up into this 930 wick. Even though it was a high resistance high, we did sweep sell side, so I felt that that wasn't as much of a high resistance high as it was before sweeping that. So I set my limit order here. I put my stops just below the wick or the body of this large displacing candle, and all I wanted was, you know, about a 1-to-1, and then eventually we came down into it, but we then dumped through. I don't know why it put me through and says I took profit, because I absolutely did not. We tapped into it on this bearish candle right here, and we edged my take profit by, 3 points, and I was super pissed because afterwards we dumped through my stops. So right now I'm down about $200 on the day. And what I do is when I lose my first trade, I will take one more and I'll half size So I was basically just waiting, and I saw that we were trending higher towards these unmitigated hourly gaps. So I wanted to take a long position to these gaps. As you can see, you really didn't get much of an entry. We tapped this hourly, and I really didn't feel like we had enough confluence to be continuing higher because we have an extremely choppy all morning and forming tons of low resistance liquidity towards sell side. So afterwards, we tapped in and we formed this bullish 1 minute. So I wanted to look for an IFEG through this 1 minute, which afterwards we did kind of chop a little bit, which should have been my first indicator that this really wasn't going to be that great of a trade. But the inversion was super clean. So all I did is I went here, and since I half risked, I went for a 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio trade to try to make up for my losses. And as you can see, I entered here off this 1 minute inversion after tapping the hourly, going for a 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio trade. And I got completely stopped out, ran through my stops. Super unfortunate, but you know, it happens. We're down $295 at about 80 cents on the day. Right now, I'm just going for the winning days on this funded account to get my next payout. I'm 2 winning days away. So this doesn't really affect the overall of getting the payout, especially because this account is so far into profit. It's at about $39,000, and this is a 25K account. So not that concerned. Just very unfortunate price action, very unfortunate trades. Down about $300 on the day. And as you can see, it did end up playing out after stopping me out. But it is what it is. You can't win them all. Just kind of disappointed. But, you know, again, it is what it is. But thank you guys for tuning in to this unfortunate trade recap. We'll be back tomorrow morning. I go live from every 9:20 a.m. to 11 a.m. Monday through Friday. So hopefully I'll see you guys there, and maybe we'll catch a dub. But if not, stay blessed, stay dangerous, stay trading. Love you guys.